I call upon Dr. Kenneth Wood of the School of Physics and Astronomy.
Chancellor, it is my great privilege to present for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, Mr. Charles Sifford. You can't play here. The caddy entrance is round back. If you show up and try to play tomorrow, we can't guarantee your safety on the golf course. You can't eat with the other players in the clubhouse. You can't use the changing rooms. Your application for membership of the PGA Tour is denied because you are not a member of the Caucasian race. In the face of such immense personal and institutional racism, all that Mr. Charles Sifford asked was just let me play, because he knew that if he so much as cast a look at one of the countless racists who heckled him on the golf course, it would be his actions that would be front-page news and not the obscenities to which he was subjected. After almost 2 decades of perseverance, Charlie was eventually granted membership of the PGA Tour in 1960. It was not until 1962 that the efforts of Charlie and his fellow pioneers overturned the PGA Tour's Caucasian-only clause. So in 1960, Charlie became a tour rookie at the age of 37. Just think about that. That would mean Tiger Woods had another 7 years to wait before he could tee it up on tour. So what had Charlie been doing until then? He'd been playing, he'd been winning a lot, he'd been living, and he'd been doing just a wee bit of hustling. As with many African-American golfers, it was through caddying as a kid at a local golf courses that Charlie fell in love with golf. They may have been caddies, but they were seldom allowed to play the courses where they worked. A native of North Carolina, Charlie also fell in love with cigars at the age of 12. When Charlie was offered the honorary degree here at St Andrews, we all agreed it would be best not to tell him about Scotland's new smoking ban. Charlie headed north from North Carolina to Philadelphia in 1939 and started playing golf in courses that would welcome him. He was very successful in the Black Golf Tour run by the United Golf Association, and he won the Negro National Open, 6 times. Life as a black professional golfer was tough and still is tough today. Just think, how many black faces do you see on tour? To supplement income from tournament winnings, many black players were taken into the employment of famous black athletes and entertainers. That's why in the 1940s and 1950s, the likes of Cab Calloway and heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis had their own private black golf professionals. Charlie Sifford spent 6 years touring with jazz legend Billy Eckstine. This gave him a steady income, and his boss would give him time off to compete in tournaments. Before they were allowed to compete on tour, one of the main ways that black golfers earned money was through betting and hustling. On many occasions, Charlie and his friends passed themselves off as hopeless hackers, only to turn on their true talents in time to win the match, a fistful of dollars, and quickly hightail it out of town. That such talented golfers were reduced to hustling is very sad. All that Charlie and his fellow pioneers ever wanted was an even playing field and the opportunity to compete for all golfers. When Charlie was finally given that opportunity in 1960, he made up for lost time. Of the 422 events he played on the PGA Tour, he made 399 cuts. He won at Hartford in 1967, and in 1969, he won the Los Angeles Open in front of his then home crowd. Charlie then took his considerable talents onto the fledgling PGA Seniors Tour, and he won its championship in 1975. He still competes today and is regularly placed in the top few in the annual Legends of Golf tournaments. This year, just a couple of months ago, he came in second place with his partner, Joe Jimenez. Now, much has been written about Charlie never having played in the Masters at Augusta. Although he never technically qualified to play, as the history students here today will know, the bigger picture is that during the 1960s, when America was literally burning with racial tension and the Masters issued invitations to many foreign players, an invite to the top black player of the decade could have sent a powerful message of inclusion. However, that invite never came. Today's ceremony is one of the highlights of this week, which is Charlie's first visit to Scotland. Yesterday, he played on the Old Course for the very first time. You remember yesterday? There was a wee bit of a breeze. Mr. Sifford launched a beautiful drive off the first tee, and then I said to him, Mr. Sifford, in this wind, you need to hit a 180-yard shot to be sure that you will clear the Swilcan burn. As the wind caught the ball and pushed it out of bounds, he looked at me and said, "You ain't no caddie." And Rick Mackenzie wasn't there to help me. I then quickly remembered the advice from Charlie's sons, so I quit before I was fired. Charlie is accompanied today by his sons Charles Jr. and Craig. And they have told me that their mother Rose, Charlie's wife and rock for over 50 years, is smiling down on this ceremony. Mr. Sifford was asked if he would recommend the game of golf to minority children today. He does not hesitate in saying he would tell young black children, and any children at all, to get their education first, and then if they want to play the game, to go for it. The honour that we are bestowing on Charlie Sifford today is not a token gesture by the University of St Andrews. We are committed to equality and enabling opportunity for all who are academically qualified to enter our university. Inspired by Mr. Sifford's story, we hope to establish a scholarship to enable academically gifted minority golfers from the USA to study at St Andrews. Over the last couple of days, many of us in St Andrews, well, apart from on the golf course yesterday, have enjoyed being in the presence of a living legend and listening to Charlie's stories. Class of 2006, in years to come, when you talk about your graduation day, be proud of your degree, your university, and remember that this is the day that you graduated from the University of St Andrews with Charlie Sifford. As you celebrate with your friends and families outside today, stop by, say hello, and if you're 10 metres away from a public building, have a cigar with Charlie Sifford. Chancellor, in recognition of his achievements as a golfer, his perseverance in the face of terrible injustice, and the dignity with which he has conducted his life, I invite you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, on Mr. Charles Sifford.
Te ad gradum doctorus utriusque juris honoris causa promovio, cuius rei in symbolum, super te hoc beretum impono.